Welcome, this is going to be a brief video on the difference between absolute and relative pathing. So absolute pathing points to a specific location in a file system, regardless of your current location. It refers to the location from the root of the file system and is most commonly used when referencing an external domain using a URL or the domain name. In contrast, relative pathing points to the location of a directory using the current working location as its reference point. It is used to link files that are on the same file system or the same domain, such as when you're navigating links on a website. So for this example, on my desktop, I have a folder called path example. In this folder, I've got another folder, and I've got a file called index1.html, image1.jpg, and in the folder, I've also got an image2.jpg and an index2.html. So I've already created that. In this first example, I'll show you an example of absolute pathing. So on the browser here, I've already got the image. So if I copy the URL and in the index one, I've got this image HTML element, paste the link in the source, save and open index one, you can see that the image is showing up. So this image that I've linked in the source of the image HTML element is showing up. So this is an example of absolute pathing. Same thing can be done in index 2. So irrespective of the location, if I copy this image, number 2, and paste that URL in the image source of index2 HTML and open index 2, so you can see it's referencing this image using that URL. So this is absolute pathing. We can also do that in our machine. I'm going to replace the source with the absolute path on my local machine. Now, path example is the folder. We're going to add one more slash here and add image1.jpg and save that. So this is the absolute path on my computer. Open default browser and you can see that it is referencing that file that is saved on my local machine. So moving on to relative pathing. So let's get rid of this source here. So relative pathing, if you want to reference your starting point from your current working directory, you do a dot and a forward slash to reference the current location. And as you can see here, I'm using Visual Studio Code, so this pops up. But now it's showing me the files in the same level. So I'm going to click image 1 and open index 1. And you can see that it is showing up. Right, so that's relative pathing pointing to the image on my local machine. So now in index 2, so index 2 is inside folder, a folder called folder. What if we want to reference the image 1 that's outside of the folder? Well, in that case, when you want to move outside one level, you use a double dot and slash. So that moves outside the folder. And now I can reference image 1. And open index 2 in the default browser. So now you can see it's referencing 1, the image 1, by moving outside one level using this 2 dots and forward slash. So the same thing can be done. You can actually move outside and inside levels. So double dot slash moves me outside one level. And as an example, let's add another folder here. Let's call it folder 2. And let's just copy image 1 here in folder 2. Let's say we're in folder, right? And we want to reference the image in folder 2. So what we can do in index 2 is double dot slash to move out one level. Then we can go inside folder 2, and now we can reference image 1. Okay, and save that. Now if we open index 2, it's still referencing that image 1. All right, so that's an example of relative pathing. I hope that made things a lot more clearer. And if it did, do leave a like, leave a comment, and feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.